Hey there, and thank you for joining me. Princess Diana showed the world that she could touch and even hug AIDS patients without being in fear. I already covered this in a video called Unmasking the Truth on HIV and AIDS, so check it out. Today I want to cover someone who has a huge influence in the fight against HIV and AIDS and the stigma surrounding it. So here we go. This entertainer wowed the world for 40 plus years. She was the first to pioneer through the AIDS crisis in the 80s, and still a strong supporter today. Now I'm talking about Madonna. Now, never mind her recent plastic surgery or her past controversial movements, set that aside for now. During the AIDS crisis in the 80s, Madonna had very close young gay male friends who were dying around her, really, and there was nothing she could do to stop it. What she could do is that she spent a lot of time and money, publicly and in secret. Millions of dollars were raised through her work. She is considered to be one of the first musicians and advocate in the response to the HIV crisis, and one of the first notable names in the entertainment history in the cause. For example, she raised money in her first international world tour. She had a AIDS benefit fundraiser concert at Madison Square Garden and raised about $400,000. Now in today's money, that's just over $1 million. That's incredible. Rolling Stone mentioned, they said that Madonna has raised the most amount of money ever in such a one event for a fundraiser. She continued on with her Blind Ambition tour and raised money there through projects with Los Angeles, the AIDS Action Foundation, and AMFAR. With the premiere of her Truth or Dare, Madonna took part in Elizabeth Taylor's 65th birthday fundraiser there, and here's a clip of that.
All sorts of celebs were on hand, not just to raise money to fight AIDS, but to honor Madonna for her ceaseless AIDS activism. In the mid-'80s, she was a model at an early AIDS benefit fashion show. In 1987, she held pop music's first big AIDS benefit show at New York's Madison Square Garden. She's shaken her booty at AIDS dance-a-thons, and on her last tour, she held another benefit after her friend, artist Keith Haring, died of AIDS.
I think that she was one of the first people to really come out and raise money, donate, publicly fight for it when it was not as fashionable. I think that she's a real heroine in that respect.
Like every AIDS-related event these days, this one also saw discussion of Magic Johnson's announcement that he's HIV positive and the AIDS-related death of Queen frontman Freddie Mercury.
I hope that we're able to find a miracle through his sacrifice.
AMFAR co-founder and chairwoman Elizabeth Taylor was absent with the flu, but her disembodied voice did address the crowd on an audio tape she recorded in her sickbed.
Tonight, we paid tribute to the heroine of our movement and a symbol of our times. Madonna, it is with love I salute you. God bless you always.
I don't even know all the stuff that she does. I know that she gives a lot of money, and I know that she's vocal about, safe sex, and I just think that she's, politically correct about it.
It's called the Award of Courage, which makes sense because Madonna's about the bravest person I know.
Finally, Madonna took a few moments to address those rumors.
What I don't understand is all this energy and activity that is wasted on perpetrating lies when it could be spent on something a lot more positive and productive. If people put all the money together that they spent on producing and buying all the trash journalism in this country, and that includes newspapers, TV shows, radio shows, and books, and gave it to one of the countless AIDS organizations that deal with research or education or hands-on care of AIDS patients, the list goes on, we wouldn't have to have a benefit every week imploring people to give of their time and money. Now, I am not HIV positive, but what if I were? I would be more afraid of how society would treat me for having the disease than the actual disease itself. It occurred to me rather recently that what's even bigger than the AIDS epidemic, what's even more frightening, is the fear that this plague has given birth to. What they're facing is real. And if we can learn to deal with real, and we can learn to deal with our fears, then I'm hopeful that we can conquer this disease. Thank you.
Now, I believe they give this award out every year, and she was just actually there last year presenting one to another. There is a long list spanning over the decades of her supporting this, and I could go on, but it's just too much to cover, so I'm just giving you a basic summary. Madonna also endorsed groups like ACT UP and Beat AIDS. Now, I covered ACT UP, actually, movement in another video, so check that out. So Madonna has a Raising Malawi Foundation. So the AIDS epidemic takes a large toll in Malawi. They state that there's about 17% of children who are orphaned or considered vulnerable. This foundation works to support orphans in Malawi with education, medication, and food. She even adopted 3 children. Remember this in the news report years ago, they were giving her flack for trying to fast track them back to the US. Can you imagine someone that famous and that much money having that much trouble? How would the ordinary person be able to adopt and bring them over here in a safe place? I mean, maybe some things do need to be changed there. The superstar acknowledged that the battle of HIV/AIDS epidemic is not over. It's still ongoing, noting that 1.5 million people have contracted the disease last year. Here's a quote from Madonna. "The fight is not over. We can never be too complacent when it comes to the silent killer that continues to wreak havoc in the people's lives across the globe." Like Princess Diana, Madonna, I admire both of their works throughout the years. Madonna is endless in her efforts to combat stigma of HIV and AIDS and also the LGBTQ plus community. She's a huge supporter in that as well, and that helped me have confidence enough to be who I am. It's not a choice. I am gay, and anyone that just has a problem with it, too bad. I am comfortable in my own skin, and Madonna's lyrics and attitudes towards all of this helps me.
Sarah Kate Ellis, and glad for this honor. When I made the film Truth or Dare, I had no idea I was going to... Seriously, I had no idea it was going to inspire so many gay men to A, give blowjobs to Evian bottles, or B, just have the courage to come out. Yes. And be free and take a stand and say, this is who I am. Like it or not, okay?
So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and thank you for taking the time to watch. Please remember to like and subscribe and tap that notification bell to be notified if you haven't already. Until next time, Michael K here. Take care, everyone.